I'm going to say we're live now. We're live. There you go. Just as the message came, you're live. I forget there's a delay. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Natasha Makes. It is Wednesday, which means it's Stitchy Witchy Wednesday, which isn't what you'll see on your screen. What you'll see on your screen is more like Workshop Wednesday, which it is, with our resident Stitchy Witch. Jen, do you mind that we call you the Stitchy Witch?
No, not at all.
I suddenly thought...
I'm positive about witches.
You're positive about witches. You are Glenda the Good Witch.
I am the Good Witch. With my pink sparkly dress and my wand.
I mean, we could make all that happen.
Couldn't we?
We really could. Although, actually, I saw you whipping a whole load of fabric today for a beautiful yellow dress.
Yeah, when that will get made, I don't know. But yes. I was like, no, you can't sell all of that. I want some for a dress.
This is what happens Wednesday mornings. We get up early and we look through everything that we want to bring for you for our half-metre heavens. We've got some crackers this week. And invariably what happens is either Inga or Jane, Gemma's guilty of this as well.
Yeah.
You can't sell that, Natasha. I need it. How
Even
much
if
do
it's
you
just
need?
to look at it on the shelf and stroke it every morning.
Because that's how every successful business runs, isn't it?
Yeah.
By just stroking the stuff
fabric
on the shelves.
Yeah, don't sell it to anyone.
I rip it from them in a caring and loving way, cut it all up and give it to you. So good morning.
We share the love, that's what it's all about.
We do share the love. And this is it. I mean, my mum was saying to me this morning, is it true that you really only sell fabrics that you love?
You can't sell fabric you don't love.
Do you know what? I'm done with selling stuff I don't like.
You can't sell it.
I can't. And anybody that knows me sees straight through it, and it feels inauthentic. It doesn't sit right for me. But when you work for a company, you have to do stuff you don't like.
Yeah. When
it's your own company, no. So you'll be pleased to know I love every single one of these fabrics. And if you don't want them, that's absolutely fine, because, you know, we're happy. Just saying. But of course we do also love to share the love. Good morning. Oh, you see, Claire says, I like Stitchy Witch, being a Harry Potter fan. It's magic. Are you a Harry Potter fan?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Yeah. I love a bit of Harry Potter.
Should we do witches' hats?
Got to be done.
I mean, it's just a thought. Good morning. Oh, your mum's watching. Good morning from a sunny Staffordshire.
Yeah, we've got sunshine here too.
Finally.
There's a bit of grey cloud going on, but it can go away.
Well, I think it will go. Do you know what? I've actually got my optician's appointment on Saturday. I've got to remember to go. Mum, when you're here, can you remind me to go? Mum and Dad are coming.
Oh, how
Very
lovely.
exciting. In fact, my in-laws...
How long is it since you saw your mum?
I saw them for 3 hours in August. And before that, the last time that I saw them was January last year. Mad. They haven't seen Emily for over half her life.
They won't recognise her. She's such a grown-up young woman.
Yeah, but she knows them on FaceTime.
Yes, of
like
course, she's seen them.
Yeah. Because I always say to Emily, "Who loves you, Emily?" And we go through everybody that loves her. And Grandma Barry are always in there. They're always top of the list. And she's also seeing Glam Pam, Nana Pam, and Grandad Brian. Yeah, this week. So it's all it's nice. It's like a bit of normality. It's all happening. Obviously, you guys didn't need to know my diary, but I'm just sharing. It's exciting for us. Good morning, Linda and Angela and Myra. Can't stay off to Penrith to check out a caravan for my old friend.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Some of the best holidays I had as a kid. I remember going to my friend's caravan at Bracklesham Bay, and we went in her mum's purple, grey and black 2CV. Chugging along. And we had the best time. I got very sunburnt on my buttocks though, because we went out on a boat and I was just lying, got really, really sunburnt. Yeah. Don't try natural yogurt to cool it. It was that burning. It just sort of fried on my skin instead. And then I'm like, have I got to peel this off? Like, what happens there? So yeah, that's a myth that said that natural yogurt is soothing. Don't do it. It just meant that dogs sniffed me. It wasn't a happy situation. Their tongues are quite rough. Morning, Penny. She says, hi guys, can't stay. Oh, is there going to be anybody left? Off to track down more embroidery threads. I seem to be able to do this. Surprise me. Love everything you're all doing. Penny, if there are embroidery threads that you need, let us know. We'll get them for you. Good morning, Rita. Good morning, Helen. Morning, ladies. Plus side of child off school ill. I'm watching live for a change. This will make them feel better. This will all make it better. Jess, I love you. Ooh, behind you. I know. Yeah, come on. Let's have a moment to appreciate the genius that is Jane Alcock. She's like, so these layer cakes. I said, yeah, we've got a few. Do you want to do something with them? Oh, yeah. And out came the little book of squares, scribbling away. And this was the result, and I absolutely love it.
And the best thing about it is you're not cutting up lots of little pieces. Dum, dum, dum. It's really stitchy witchy today.
I love it because I would not have known what to have done with that layer cake.
No.
I'm going to be completely honest. I wouldn't have known. I did my rag quilt. That's where my 10-inch. It's where my 10-inch experience ends. Morning, Karen.
Easy.
Morning, Steph. Morning, Kim. Morning, Grace. Morning, Anne. Morning, Margaret. Hurrah for Stitchy Witchy Wednesday. Oh, Jess says, P.S. going to Harry Potter World in November. The Christmas sets will be up. So happy.
Oh, yeah. It's on my to-do list.
Oh, is it?
I haven't been yet. My nieces have been, and the photographs and what they said, it just sounds amazing.
I'm going to throw this out. Would you rather have a Christmas party, Natasha Makes style, or a trip to Harry Potter?
Well, that's not fair. That's like asking you which is your favourite child.
What if it involved Harry Potter and gin?
Yeah, I'm not that keen on gin, but yeah, I can go with it.
I mean, or any other tipple of your choice. Morning, Laurie. She says, morning, Natasha and Stitchy Witchy Jane. Always enjoy all the shoes. I think she means shows. But I mean, it could be shoes.
Yeah.
Actually, I haven't got any shoes today.
No.
I've got my fluffy socks on.
Fluffy feet. And
On a Wednesday and previewing Half Meter Heavens. Ooh. Whoops, just broke my machine needle. Karen, if you're like us, you've got another 99 in your stash ready to go. You'll be all right. Alison Fraser, good morning, Natasha, Jane and everyone. Lovely quilt this morning, isn't it? Love it. Morning, all from a sunny Hampshire, says Helen. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Joanna, good morning. Everyone's saying fab quilt, Jane. Everybody's saying it.
I'm glad they like it.
Nikki can't wait to see how this is done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Karen Horton says, what? No little pieces? Lots of stitchy witchy stuff today. I have to say, I don't know how it's done. I'm going to be sitting there learning with you. Good morning, Geraldine. Hi, Natasha and Jane. You sound a lot better, Natasha. My voice was just going and going and going yesterday. I just sound a little husky today. I can cope with that. I love a layer cake, says Rebecca. Well, any cake, to be fair. We're with you on that. We're absolutely with you on that. We're a fan of the cake.
We inhaled the cake that John bought on Monday. It's like, gone.
He bought 3 cakes. We inhaled all 3. It's not just the cake, no. Jane. It was 3 cakes. Cass, good morning. No, hang on. You're in Australia. Good afternoon. Evening.
Night, is it?
Hi. We'll just stick with her. Hi. She says, I have an off-topic question for the Stitchy Witch.
All right, okay.
If I may, go for it. Lots of chatter around changing machine needles, but how often do you need to change your hand needle when hand piecing? Oh, good question. Over to you, Jane.
Yeah, well, depends on the size of your project, but if you're doing a big project like a quilt, I would change it after you've finished each project.
Okay.
Because it wears away. It wears just like a machine needle. It wears through. I do know people that have got the same needle that they've used for 20 odd years. You do get a favourite needle.
You do.
But just watch it because they do wear.
I also have my grandmother's needle case. Mm-hmm. And it's that old. I made her the needle case when I was 7.
Well, that's ancient then, isn't it?
Right.
In your 40s.
Steady on. Yeah, but I mean, you know, in a throwaway society that we live in, the fact that I have something that is 30 something years old, it's all right. We're making heirloom things, ladies and gents. That's it. Good question, by the way, Cass. Thank you for that. Karen Hughes, new needle in and off we go again. It makes me jump when it snaps. Yeah. Oh, yeah. have to watch Travelling, cannot miss this. Oh, Myra, bless you. It's always going to be on catch up. In fact, if it's not done already, what we're going to do, which is, again, slightly off topic, is have a whole, you know, when we do blocks of the months and stuff like that, and anything that's sort of subscription-y, whether you've signed up or not, we're going to have a whole dedicated area of the website for you, so that you've got like a place to go to always look up, because not everybody makes their quilts at the same time.
No.
So if you've got an area that you can go, that you know that if you're doing anything that is done month by month, you know where to find it. Right, do you want to see these fabrics? Can we have a little bit of love for new fabrics? Because we have a new supplier and the fabric's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Which makes me dance. I'm happy. Do you want to see? Should we start off with this first?
Yeah, that's lovely.
Is this the fat quarter? This is the fat quarter one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how about, so just so that you know, I will stop talking in a minute. This takes 3.5 meters of fabric, right?
2 and 1/4.
2 1/4.
Yeah. Doesn't include the binding, and I'll explain why when we get
I
to
thought it was 3.5 with these. One,
Oh, sorry. The equivalent in a layer cake is
Yes.
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, there's
Right.
3.5 in that bundle.
3.5 in there, so you've got your binding and everything then
Yeah.
in this bundle. So yes, you can either buy a layer cake and it's all cut for you, or if you want to cut, say you've just got your new Stripology ruler, and with anybody that has a new Stripology ruler, I think it's fair to say you get a bit overexcited cutting stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just like, oh, this is magic.
I have entire boxes of stuff that I cut into the smallest the largest I could out of my scraps. And
I
they're
know
all in
people
different
that do
boxes.
that. They don't have scraps. They have boxes with either 2.5-inch squares, 5-inch squares.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
And then you've got half your projects done already,
It's
isn't
already
it? The
done,
cutting.
yeah. So have a look at these, because I think these are a bit beautiful. Oh look, now you can see everything. Hang on, let me move this all out of the way. You don't need to see all my bits and bobs, do you? My thermos.
Your lem sip in. Put your lem sip in.
It's got a little lem sip in, yeah, I'm not going to lie. Did you realise that he had glittery gold legs?
Yes.
Did
Bit of
you?
Metallic. It's a bit
I
gorgeous.
didn't realise. So this, well, actually, I'll show you in the half metre. You can either get it as a fat quarter or as half metres. So I'll show you as half metres because they're here. I mean, okay, we have obviously all realised that we are ornithologically challenged here. Right? So we don't know if it's herons or what it is, or cranes, or if that's the same thing and just the American name. But just look at these. Oof. These are from Macau. And I have to say, how... Cranes, thank you. Says on the sheet. What sheet? I don't have that sheet.
On the supplier, but it also
Oh, on
says
the supplier sheet.
it says it on the salvage as well.
If it says it on the salvage, it is clearly the truth. So you could make this quilt out of this. Let me drink a shot again. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to put this here for you instead. Whoop, there. Look, he's got glittery legs and beak. Where do these live, these critters? To go and see them. Oh, look at that. And that's got glitter on it. And look at these little chaps.
The koi carp.
Aren't they
Gorgeous.
beautiful? And again with that gold on. And then, yeah, there's a little bit of gold in these florals as well. So then we've given you in this as well, we've popped in, there you go, there is your beautiful salt batik. Is that teal or
It's Baltic.
Baltic? Oh, we went Baltic in the end.
Yeah.
And I
We
want to
just
say
went that little bit darker.
hot tomato.
Yes.
Nice. So I am loving these, and just because I wanted to give you an alternative, if you know,
Yeah.
if you wanted to know exactly what was what, I think these are absolutely beautiful. If you just need them in your stash, you know, we're comfortable with that as well, aren't we, Jane?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if that is the case, then why don't you grab yourself the fat quarter bundle as well? There's a discount on the half meters, but if you want the fat quarters, they are good to go as well. That is bundle number 1. And that's just because that kind of goes with today's show. I pop that over there. Right. Okay, here we go. So today we have got Lisa's black leaf, gum leaf and black with Moda Grunge zesty apple. I mean, it's like it was made for it.
Yeah, it brings up all those lovely subtle tones in the leaves.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Sometimes, Jane, you know, we're just brilliant.
It's just lovely, isn't it?
It's just fab. I'm going to keep that there whilst I also show you the Japanese chrysanthemum. I thought we had this last week, but maybe we didn't. The Japanese chrysanthemum, also with a bit of zesty, what's its chops?
Zesty apple.
Thank you.
Because there's a little bit of a blue tone in there.
There is. I think you can see it. I'm just going to do close-ups like this, I think, for a little bit so that we can really see.
These are the special bundles, aren't they?
Yeah, so these are the specials. We said that we would do you a little bit of both, didn't we? Whereby, yeah, look at, we couldn't have wished to have found something quite so beautiful to go with that. I don't think. It's weird, isn't it, Jane? We've hit upon the grunges being so beautiful with Cave stuff, with the Cave Facet Collective. Just so beautiful.
How it works.
Because this has got all those purples in, and these sort of taupey browny shades in there. It just, but in a really soft way. So it allows this to do everything that it wants to do.
It just complements it beautifully,
Doesn't it?
The grunges have worked really well with the Cave, and it's a bit of a surprise because obviously they're different companies, different suppliers and everything, and it's been a very happy accident.
I made a wristlet out of this.
Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful. This and the cork was gorgeous, and then I would line it in that.
Nice.
Beautiful. Now a little Lewis and Irene special today. Well, in fact, a couple of Lewis and Irene specials today. We have got for you the glow-in-the-dark skulls. There they are. Those little chaps. We've put them with the stars. What did you say this was, Jane? You said it's very something.
Gothic. Did I say gothic or grungy?
Grungy,
yeah.
That's what you said, which I don't know why I can't remember that, given that we've just talked about Moda Grunge.
It's a bit rock, isn't it?
A bit rock, that's what you said, it was a bit rock. And it is, and I think for boys...
Yeah.
And girls, but if you're looking for something, because, you know, sometimes the boys don't like, you know, the florally stuff. Freddie loves this.
It's gorgeous.
This is the Lewis and Irene Glow in the Dark. You've got all your spaceships, you've got whatever these are, and when it glows in the dark, these just look like little flying saucers.
I think they're supposed to be space stations, aren't they? I think
I think they're space stations, but they just look like flying saucers because only these bits glow, and it's just gorgeous. He's got this in cushions on his bed, and he just loves it.
Lovely.
And these, then all these stars, then glow as well. It's just gorgeous. If you've got a grandson, they're going to love that. Now, this is another of our specials. This is Rennie. How do I say it?
Nannyman, I think. Nannyman.
I'm going with Nannyman. I'm going with whatever you've said, Jane. And we've put it with a linen texture, a Makawa linen texture. So this is all a bit special. Look at that.
The linen textures are lovely because they are what they say. They're a printed fabric, but they give you that linen look to the fabric. So it's got a real subtle sort of colour shimmer to it.
Without having to iron the bejesus out of it, because, you know, that's what we learn to love with
Sometimes you
linen.
don't want a solid, do you? You want something with a little bit of texture in, and the Makawa's linen are lovely.
I don't know if we would have ever have matched those blue tones exactly, Jane.
No.
And so when I saw this, I was like, yep, yes, 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 beautiful. I've got a bag in mind for this.
Yeah.
And so if you grab this today, just know that I've got a bag that's going to look amazing in that. Just saying. So this is again by Rennie.
Nannyman.
Thank you.
I'm saying it. I don't know whether it's right. She's probably going, that's not how you say my surname.
Is now, love.
She's in America. She may not know what to do.
She may not be. She might be. She may not be. Who knows? Yeah, and again, another linen texture with that. Is that their chambray or their denim? I can't remember.
I don't know the name. It's just got a T on it, which to me is turquoise or teal.
I don't care. It's beautiful.
But there's 4 of those together. They just...
Oh, well, yeah, this was the thing, wasn't it? This is what we were saying. You've got 2 meters of fabric if you whack those 4 together. and how beautiful that would be, because this is the same fabric just in a different colourway. I just think that's
It's
stunning.
just lovely.
Wait, rude not to, Jane. Rude not to. Now, let's have a look at this, because how can you improve on William Morris Strawberry Thief, Jane?
Well, you could just put a bit of shimmery glitter to it.
It's got glitter in it. I mean, it just...
It picks up the colours in there beautifully.
and brightens it, which it didn't need because it's William Morris and it's beautiful. But if I just load this up so that you can see this on a close-up. It's not in-your-face glitter.
It's just a shimmer. It's lovely.
It's just enough. Basically, this is all your own fault because you said, yes, let's have some slightly different fabrics. But look how beautifully it goes with this. I mean, it's like it was made for it. Look at that.
Yeah, it brings up Mr. Fox beautifully.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
And just that bit of shimmer just brightens it.
Brings it,
Yeah, modern,
brings it modern.
modernises it.
Oh, that was an awful sentence, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Brings it modern like, doesn't it? Eh? Oh, this was another one. And this, oh my goodness. Okay, so out of all of the new K Facet Collective, the tawny cactus flower is probably one of my favourites. And when I then saw it with this grunge, I was like, yes. There are grey tones in there that just, yes, 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 and more yes. We'll do as many of those as we can. Oh, 8. That's as many as we can. I love this.
It's beautiful.
Jane, just so that you know.
And it's weird that the blue actually makes the pink pop out.
Doesn't it? It's just incredible.
You're
And
gonna
then
love
this.
one. Oh, we were both went, ah! when we
Yes!
saw this.
Sparkly pink.
You don't have to say anything, do you, really?
I mean, you can thank us later. It's fine. It's fine. Do you know, can I actually say, I love it when we get our order sheets through, and so often we get little notes on there. And Gemma always shares them when she does all the sales sheets. She always shares it with our group. So thank you, because it's just, it's like a little an unexpected pat on the back that reaffirms that you're happy.
Yeah, and that we're doing the right thing.
Yeah,
We do all of this because we love it, but we have to make sure that you love it too.
Apparently, that's the thing, right? Now, we've got 7 of these. This is Moda Grunge Freesias with your Asian circles in pink. And when I was going through the Moda department, this just happened. And I was like, well, yes.
Yeah, because it's got that little bit of like tealy colour, which
Because
pulls everything out.
how do you choose which purple? There are so many purples, and there they all are. Even down
It's
to
so
this little
delicate
bit
and
that's
pretty.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
And it-
delicate.
just reflects it beautifully. And ha 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 Jane. I'm going to hold it there because sparkly, sparkly, sparkly. And I'm going to put this on an overhead because we looked at putting our gold with this one. The grey just washed it out. That meh. But as soon as we put our sparkly, sparkly one there, it did things here.
Yeah, all the colours are in there, and it just it really lifts it.
Oh,
It's just beautiful. And again,
all the
it
colours
pops
with
the other
sparkle.
colours out.
Yeah.
It pops that lovely turquoisey blue and that lovely zesty pink. It's gorgeous. It's just a beautiful fabric anyway, but then you add a bit of sparkle to it, you've made it.
What's not to love? And then you're lucky that Jane left you any of this because this is going to be her dress. And again, you know, the sparkly sparkle with that. Just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So they are the special ones. So they won't be $9.99. They can't be, I'm afraid, because otherwise, you know,
We won't last long.
we won't last long, no. And we gave everyone this. And these are your normal $9.99 ones, which I think are fabulous as well. This is your Lewis and Irene. I love a paisley, And this is sort of a mustardy paisley with gold. So chop this up and pop it in your quilts.
It's lovely, isn't it? A lovely combination.
It beats a spot,
Mm.
doesn't it? But it's that
Yeah.
sort of size. It's that ditzy size. Really useful to have. It might not be your hero fabric, like we have the big prints that you can make back. Well, you
Yeah.
can make a bag out of it. Of course you can. I like to have something big in a bag.
Yes.
But that
But
would...
sometimes if you're making a smaller bag, like your trios or something like that, that with the gold lining would just look lovely.
Yep, sashing on it to
Yeah.
pick out those colours. This is an unsung hero, Jane, I tell you. An unsung hero. Oh.
You sort of left me on my own with that one, and I was like, I quite like the magenta.
No, I love that too. Well done, Jane. Well done. Again, K Facet Collective with magenta. I had an Emily-based emergency because she didn't know where her unicorn ball was.
Yeah.
Oh,
Had
to be
found.
two.
Yeah.
Oh, to be two. Mummy. Well, it took us a while, didn't it? Because we were on the phone to Lisa this morning, you
Yeah.
and me.
And she sounded like she was saying yoga ball, didn't she?
We're like, why do you want my yoga ball? No, no, no. Unicorn ball. So, yeah. These are the fans. We didn't actually, when we did the quilt last week, we didn't do it in this deep colourway, did we?
No. We did it in the lighter one, but actually you could use that. But is that got gold accents with it?
Silver.
Yes, it has. Oh, it's got the silver.
It's got the silver. I mean, just look at that dragonfly. And again, you know, you could just have this as a panel and do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
It's utterly gorgeous. We have put it with nude, actually, because it picks out. Wah, Jane, it picks out. Wah.
That's a new word. Wow.
Hang on. For those of you that have not had any of Lisa's fabrics, firstly, where have you been? Look at that. Look at the detail within the fan.
You could just cut the fan out, couldn't you?
You
and
could.
just applique it onto the.
Well, you could.
Yeah.
You know, you absolutely could.
Just make it into a cushion.
Yeah, with just, or you could cut all the fans out and fan the fans,
Yeah.
couldn't you? And then just have a little dragonfly popping up. But just look at the detail in that fan.
Well, you can see. Look at the breadth of colours in the salvage. There, you've got. You know, most colours have got 6 or 7 on them.
So you've got 15 colours, and then the metallic. Metallic here is the last one to go on. But it's not just about that, because 16 is the limit that any printer, any screen printed fabric can have.
Yeah.
And Lisa always does it to the max. But can you see how these are blended out? This is kind of only available, one of only a handful of mills that this is available at, where these fabrics are manufactured in Japan. Gemma did make me laugh. I'm glad that my Japanese is so up to scratch, because now we get the fabric direct from the mill,
Yes.
rather than it going to Australia and then coming here.
Comes with all.
It comes with all the Japanese. We're like,
Fortunately, their numerals are in English or American or standard.
Yeah. Look at that little chap. I've got a really exciting project for these.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Yeah, you hadn't arrived at the point that we were discussing that. Oh, there's so much to come. Please love these ones, because they're just beautiful. I'm nearly there, by the way, guys. I'll be handing over to the Stitchy McQuitch in a minute. Well, I mean, yeah, that had to happen, didn't it?
Yeah. It's just like,
Whoa! Would have been rude not to. Philip, we love you. Philip Jacobs, for anyone that's going, who's Philip? I thought her husband was Stephen. Hussy. No. Philip Jacobs. Oh, this one.
oh, we love this.
We do love this. Did I put it with sage? I thought I was going to put that with chartreuse.
Well, the bolt was sage that you gave me.
I know, but
It's slightly brighter, I think, than the chartreuse.
look at that. Pears? Oh, lovely pear. What a lovely pear.
Definitely.
Is what we're saying all over that one. Can't remember where that one came from. Oh, it's Lewis and Irene.
Yeah.
Oh, I did have a rummage around in the back of his van
Yeah.
when he
It's
came.
not safe. It's like, show us your van.
Yeah. All right there, Ben. Out the way. I'm going in your van. He just let me rummage. Right, we've done this again. What we've done, this is your snake head from William Morris. We've put it with, which one was that in the end? I can't remember.
Sage. Surprisingly, it's called sage.
Yeah, no, cream. So that was the cream. Because we've got 5 neutrals that are very similar, but the shade makes all the difference. We've put it with, what did I just say? Cream.
Cream.
Yeah. We've put it with Misty Blue because that goes with every William Morris under the sun ever. You can put that with all of them. It's going to work. Look, here, William Morris. Oh, look, Misty Blue. That's the last one, actually, of the layer cakes, of the William Morris layer cakes, by the way, if you want that. And we've also put it with tan because we know, Jane, if you are making a quilt, that would then be, for 30 quid, not even that, 3 pence off, 29.97, you have got 3 meters of fabric, 1.5 meters of William Morris, 1.5 meters of plains that would make you a mega quilt.
You could do this one.
You could do the one behind us. So, yeah, you could. Oh, gosh, that would be amazing, Jane. So I throw that. So that's what we've started also to do, because we've seen on the sales sheets, we've seen that actually on the odd occasion that I've done this, it's really worked for you guys. So this is your Snakehead Aqua, but again, this is it with cream. That's it with
Silver Mink.
I wanted to call it Slinky Mink.
Slinky Mink.
Can I rename it Slinky Mink?
Slinky Minky, definitely.
I would enjoy that. That would make me laugh quite a lot. So Slinky Mink, Silver Mink, Misty Blue and Cream again, but there's no reason why you couldn't swap one of those in, mix it through. I mean, just enjoy, because you've got that colour running through, haven't you?
Yeah.
Mix
and even
it all
that
up.
Silver Mink goes with the red.
Yeah, of course. We nearly put it with it, didn't we?
Yeah, we just mixed it up just slightly, just in case you did want to get all 6.
I mean,
why not?
We're not here to judge, are we, Jane?
No.
Not here to judge. Not here to judge. Merely to empower and enable, right?
That's what it's all about.
That's it. That's it. That's our remit. Or as my daughter would say, adventures in fabric.
Yay.
Yay.
I love that.
Yes. Just yes. It's got kind of a folky feel to it.
Yes, it's a lovely fabric.
Yeah.
Really
So this
pretty.
is Kay Facet Collective. This is, I believe, one of Kay's of his own, and this is Ferns in turquoise, and we've put it with fuchsia, which I still can't spell. Maybe one day, because of doing this job, I will learn. What do you think? I've got one of these. This is Lisa Chandler, and this is with vanilla. Yeah.
Just because.
Excuse me. Because we went through all of our, we've got 5 very close. We've got white, ivory, cream, vanilla.
Yeah.
Vanilla. And
natural seeded, haven't we, as well, which is a lovely one.
Natural seeded, yes, is beautiful, but I'm not sure I would put it with this because this is so glamorous.
Yeah. No,
And
you
the
need
natural-
a nice
yeah.
soft plain.
And the natural seeded has more of an earthy feel. Like I'd put it with this and be like, yeah, earthy, fabulous. And I'd put it with the William Morris because it's all about nature.
I think I used the natural seeded, didn't I, when I did the Kelmscott, because I
Yes,
thought
you did.
it just
Yes,
lent
you
itself
did.
beautifully to it.
We had one left of these.
It is literally end of bolt, which is why you can see it's a little bit wonky on the end, but there's still more than meat.
Yeah, look, it's all creased. But do you know what? So someone did actually, when we first started, someone did actually complain that the fabric was creased. Well, I'm really sorry, we don't have time to iron everything.
No.
I don't even iron my own stuff, let alone other people's. This I love. We've only got one of these. Again,
Put
this
it
is
with
your
the
Lisa
same colour.
I mean, yeah. But then, yeah, why not? Oh, hang on. Yep. All of the above. Yep. But again, only one of those. Last of the bolts. Oh, look at these. This is raspberry heaven going on over here. So these are all raspberry. Raspberry. You've got your aqua William Morris. I love the aqua.
It's
Mini
a lovely
strawberry
colour
thief.
tone. Yeah.
Beautiful, isn't it? And your KFC, big blooms. Beautiful with your raspberry. That is my offering for you. It doesn't stop there this morning. We have more to discuss because of the wonderful things she does. Anybody buying any of the Moda layer cakes, pre-cuts, anything like that, off the show today, actually this week I think SJ said, in fact SJ, can you just pop on the Facebook chat just to let everybody know exactly what it is. I think, but I have slept since we discussed it, that it is anyone who's buying any of the any Moda goes into a prize draw to win an entire Moda quilt, Jane.
It's a gorgeous, the bag itself, and then you open the bag and it's like, what?
It's the Compass Moda quilt. Get the panel, and it's all sealed, so I can't even like properly rummage. You have no idea how hard that's been for me to just not rummage.
I've kept looking at it. I'm
Have
like,
you?
Who's having this?
Well, we don't know yet, Jane. It's up for grabs. So if you'd like to be in a chance with winning, it's a 50 by 50 quilt kit.
Yeah, there's a lot of fabric in there, and it's all Moda, isn't it? It's Moda solids. It's their Bella solids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything you need to make that quilt.
Right? Exactly that. So if you would like to be in with a chance of winning that, all you got to do is grab yourself a bit of Moda. I've been wandering around with that as a backpack.
Yeah, it's
around
a
the
beautiful
house.
bag.
Yeah, like I was going camping or something. Right, let's have a look at the layer cakes that we've got today. What we have done for you, and then I'll hand over to Jane, I promise, is these are the layer cakes that we have in our warehouse currently. We've got a Free Spirit one. This is the William Morris. This is the last of the William Morris. We had a lot of these.
We did, yeah.
We did.
Well, that's how I first came to do the Kelmscott quilt, because you were like, I've got a lot of these layer cakes, what can I do with it? And I said, give it to me, I'll do something.
Yes. Moda Daybreak. I know that you looked at this and went, why didn't I know about that?
It's so pretty.
Because we don't have very many. I heart this very, very much. This is by Three Sisters. It's stunning. This is your pumpkins and blossoms. This is from Fig Tree & Co. I like Fig Tree & Co.
I love their colourway. It's very
Yeah,
subtle
look at
and
that.
soft, and there's some beautiful designs.
Really pretty. So that could be yours. Have a look on the website because you've got more idea of colours and stuff. This is the one you made, is it?
Yeah.
Yes, this is
It's
the one.
songbook one.
This is the songbook by Fancy That. So you can see behind me that. And then this is a Christmas one, Red Barn Christmas. So, you know, enjoy all of that if you're starting to make stuff for Christmas.
It's not overly Christmas. I mean, there's
It's not,
print
you've
there
got
that
checks and
mentions
stuff.
Christmas in it, but everything else really.
Actually, there's only that one that mentions Christmas. The rest of it,
there's a little bit there.
yeah, but that's just trees.
Text and stuff.
The rest of it is just
Don't necessarily know.
shining stars. But yeah, look at all of these that aren't. Oh, a nice green. So up to you anyway, but you know, some people have started making for Christmas
Yeah.
already. So what you will need is
2 1/4 meters, and I chose the ivory because it went with all of
Everything.
those.
everything. So this is your ivory. We've done it as a bundle. So if you want to make the quilt that you see on the wall today, you're going to need a layer cake and the ivory bundle. It is all on the website, www.natashamakes.com. And if you go on today's show where it says live, watch live, everything is listed underneath there. That's your 2 1/4, because we don't normally sell in 1/4 meters, do we?
No.
Yet. And
And
Jane
then-
has also grabbed these because these might be of interest for you if you want to bind in a different colour. And again, working beautifully. This is crimson, works well there. The navy works beautifully there. You've got elephant, which works beautifully here, and paprika, which works beautifully here and here and here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I bound my quilt with a cream. The binding fabric isn't included in that 2 1/4 meters. That just does your squares that coordinate with the quilt.
Yes.
So I thought, because I bound it in cream, but while I was binding it in cream, I thought, this would have looked nice bound in paprika. And then I got to the blue side and I thought, no, it might have looked nice bound in navy. So, you know.
And sage, actually. There's
Yeah,
sage
there's
going
a
through
lovely
there as
sage
well.
in there, and you know,
So, you
it
know,
would
when-
make it look different whichever you bound it in.
Or go safe, go cream.
Yeah,
How much extra do we need for binding?
1/2 metre.
Half a
You
metre,
won't need
okay.
all of it, but you're going to need more than 1/4. So we just said 1/2 metre to make it easier.
Perfect. Perfect. There we go. So we didn't like to assume and put it in the bundle. So that is today's show in a nutshell. Quite a big nutshell, and I apologise because it's 10:40. But But do you know what? Doesn't matter. We're not going anywhere, are we? Well, actually, some people might be now. You never know.
Yeah, they might have only come to see the half-metre heavens.
Well, in that case, Jane, they'll have missed out on all of your stitchy witchy gems that you've got for us. Right, I'm going to go and sit over there, and no, I'm not going to promise to be quiet. I can't make that promise to you. But I'm going to go over there, drink my drink, and let Jane do her stitchy witchy stuff.
Fall over
Over
the
to
sewing
you, Jane.
machine.
Well, you can follow the sewing machine as well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? This bit of sunshine we're seeing today after all this rain we've had. Lovely. Right. Are you okay?
Yeah. Don't mind me.
Just knocked everything over.
Yeah. You know how I bring a flask in so that I don't knock it over the fabric?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just knocked it over.
It might help if I actually put the lid on.
Yeah, so we had all these beautiful layer cakes in, and I don't know about you, but I'm a bit of a sucker for a pre-cut. I love layer cakes and I love charm packs because all the hard work's done for you. All this fabric in here is going to go. There may be pieces of fabric in here that you're not keen on, but it still goes. And when you cut it up, you don't even see it sometimes. And it's just, I mean, there's some beautiful designs in this songbook one. You've got your main print here, and it's in like 4 colourways. You've got blue tones, green tones, this lovely acidy green, a soft blue green, and then this lovely orangey paprika colour. And most layer cakes will have the full range of fabrics, and there's usually 15 plus in Moda ranges of fabric in 4 or more colourways. Usually a cream background one, and then 3 or 4 other colours. So in a layer cake you will get at least 1 square of each colour within the range of fabrics.
Perfect.
Sometimes you'll get 2, and in this layer cake there's a couple of that are repeated, which is very nice. It's very nice. And there's also in here a couple of tone on tone fabrics, which I pulled out and used as my background squares. So in there somewhere, down here, look, there's a bit of the tone on tone used as a background square, just because it wouldn't have gone if I'd put it with the plain, it would have disappeared and you'd have had a blank space in there. Some of them have them, some of them don't. You'll find them, there's one in the pumpkin one. It's got a very subtle tone on tone pattern in there.
That's nice because you can throw it in there just as a little bit of an extra hurrah.
I saw this pumpkin and blossoms and I thought, oh, is that Halloweeny then? But it's not. It's just pretty fabrics in a lovely soft orange colour, this lovely limey green, soft grey. There's a plaid in there and some pretty florals.
They are your colours, aren't they?
Really soft and lovely. And again, would work. I mean, this pattern will work with any layer cake that you have, that you want to buy. This one is such a soft, romantic collection, the Daybreak. The 3 sisters are renowned for their soft
shabby
colours.
chic. It's like proper shabby chic, isn't it?
You've got that lovely shabby chic dusky pink in there, and the greys, and that lovely tealy blue, and a lovely deep blue as well. So again, lots to choose from. So the first fun part of this is to open your layer cake, and that's one of the hardest things to do because you don't want to break it up.
I think jelly rolls are harder.
Yes.
Because you know that
you can't get them back together.
It's the genie out of the bottle, isn't it? You're
Not
never
ever.
going to get it to look like that, which means you then have to use it.
And this one, I mean, they are Christmas colours, I suppose, in so much as they're red and green, but actually the fabrics themselves, they're not Christmassy, apart from the main print, which just happens to say Christmas at the Red Barn.
Do you know what, though, Jane?
But once you've cut that up, you wouldn't notice it.
But I quite like having something that comes out that makes me
Christmas.
know it's Christmas.
Yes, yeah,
And
definitely.
decorating my home for Christmas.
Yes, and lots of people do. They have, and particularly in America, they'll have a spring quilt and a summer quilt, and they'll have autumn. They love autumn, particularly Halloween and, you know, all that time of year. And they'll decorate their house seasonally, which is lovely. So the first thing, as I say, is the hardest part possibly, is opening your layer cake and dividing it up into light and darks. Now I've only got a few left of the songbook one that I had, and these are dark ones that I've had left over.
Right.
I chose 32
Right.
just because I knew that would make 64 blocks. Now that you're probably thinking, how's that work? But you've got 32 of your plain squares as well. So once you've got your fabrics, divide it up into a pile of light and darks, and that is purely your own taste, and you might not want to do it light and darks. You might want to do all the blocks dark and all the blocks light, and you'll understand this when we go into the method. And then you'll need to cut 32 10-inch squares from your background fabric. You might want to go darker. You might look at it and you think, actually, if I put this on black, all of these colours are going to pop. You can decide a nice soft grey, anything. You know, I've chosen ivory because it does go with all of those layer cakes that we've got, because it's not a white background, it's a soft ivory colour. So once you've chosen your fabrics, you'll have a pile of light and a pile of dark, and you're going to, on your background square, you are going to draw your diagonal line, because we're going to make half square triangles from them first. So we draw a diagonal line from corner to corner, and I always go from the middle out, so not to stretch the fabric. And we place that right sides together with our chosen square, and you're going to do this with all of your squares. So if you want to do one block first to see how it goes together, or whether you want to make all your half square triangles, entirely up to you. You know,
But
I always
not
say
lots of small cutting, you said.
not lots of small cutting.
Okay. I hear
Just
you.
put the
I hear
ice
you.
on and put the iron on.
Housekeeping. Right, whilst you housekeep, Jane,
Yeah.
I have been told by SJ the competition is valid until midnight Monday the 31st of May. Every purchase, so
not just Moda.
Moda, every
Fabulous.
purchase over the next week will be another entry into the draw.
Brilliant.
Happy days.
Wonderful.
You see, SJ is our, she's our resident T's and C's knowledgeable person.
Yes.
I don't know, but you've got to do it
You've
by
got
the book,
to have
haven't you?
these things, haven't you? These
Was it the BBC that sort of ruined it for
terms
everyone?
and conditions. Yeah.
Yeah, got it all a bit whoopsie daisy. Oh, morning, Ali G. And Anne. Hello. And Catherine. Hello. And Elizabeth. Hello. Oh, we'll announce the lucky winner apparently on Tuesday, the 1st of June. So start. Oh no. So start adding anything. Oh no, it is anything Moda into your baskets to begin with a chance of winning. Right. So it is any Moda purchase.
Any Moda purchase.
Right, there we go.
Not any purchase.
Any Moda purchase. Sorry, that was slightly confusing on my part.
But in the special bundles of the half metre heavens, there's Moda. Does that count, SJ?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
It's my
So
competition.
I've sewn quarter. You're the boss. You're allowed to.
Right? She'll be like, no, pre-cuts only.
Quarter of an inch either side of that line. Now, I've got the 1/4 inch foot on my machine. If you haven't got a 1/4 inch foot, now there is a 1/4 inch foot that Natasha uses that has a bar down the side as a guide.
Yeah.
Doesn't work with this
No.
method. So if you've got one of those as your 1/4 inch foot, I'm sorry, it's going to cause you problems, so don't do it. So if you haven't got a 1/4 inch foot, all you need to do is mark your 1/4 inch line either side of that middle line and sew on the line. That's, you know, if you haven't got a machine with a 1/4 inch or you can't move your needle across any of those things, just mark the line and sew on it. It's easy to do.
Karen says, ooh, Christmas. 31 weeks away. Just saying. There's always someone that knows, isn't there, Jane?
Knows it. Yeah.
I bet you are like Elf, aren't you, Karen? Can you imagine what a house must look like at
Oh, I
Christmas?
bet it looks stunning because she's got a gorgeous house anyway. I've seen it on the pictures.
In my head, it's going to be on a par with lovely Alistair. House of Alistair, because
Definitely.
he spends 3 days decorating his house. I mean,
Wow.
and that's just the decoration,
My
not
mum
the
does
making
that.
of
She
stuff.
decorates every room and it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Right, so we've done the half square triangles. We're going to press those open, and I'm pressing the seam to the fabric side on all of them, whether they're lights or darks, to create 2 half square triangles.
Beautiful. Jan says, sunshine, just a grizzrable day here,
Oh dear.
a proper stitchy kind of a day,
Yes,
then
it's the sort of
take
day you
that.
sit in and stitch.
And then you don't feel guilty for being inside.
That's true, when you think, oh, I want to do the garden and whatever. So I've done some half meters already. So I am going to do 2 different colours. You could do it all with the same fabric if you wanted to.
Okay.
This would give you a different effect, but equally as lovely. So
This is one of those patterns that when you've got it, you're going to be able to make it so many different
Yeah.
ways and get
you could
such a
do
different
this
effect.
with just 2 fabrics and it would give you a different effect altogether and you would see a different pattern.
Hang
know,
hang
it's-
on. So if I bought 3 half-metre heavens
You'd
for
have
30
enough,
quid,
You'd
I
have
would,
enough fabric.
and enough to do the binding.
Yeah, just saying.
Jane, that's genius.
So
And this is where things like that come into their own. And this is where we
This-
are passionate about being able to bring affordable quilting, but with quality.
yeah, and
Yeah.
also, you know, layer cakes are not, and it, you know, the thing is with a layer cake, you get that value in so much as you get that variety of fabric.
Absolutely.
There's no way you get that variety of fabric for that price
And
without
also-
a layer cake.
No, and also if you take into account the time it takes to cut as well,
Yeah,
you've gained time and you
Yes.
can't buy time.
yeah,
This is the closest you can get to buying time.
yeah, definitely.
I'm a big fan of a layer cake and cake in general.
Definitely.
Hi Jane, says Geraldine. I
Hello,
have a terrible
Geraldine.
problem
Oh no.
cutting up my favourite fabrics. I feel I'm hurting them. Daft, I know.
I know they do become friends, but the thing is, that's what they're for, to cut up and make into something more beautiful.
Yeah. Claire, no, there are not hexagon layer cakes. Oh no, hang on, there are. But they're more charm pack size.
Yes, they are. They're 5
rather
inch
than they're 5-inch rather than
Yeah,
yeah.
you can get them. They're
Shall I have a look?
They are Kaufman, I think, aren't they?
Are they? Oh,
Mm.
Robert, he's
Yeah,
done that, has
in
he?
his
We'll have a word. We'll find out.
Kona Solids, I think. Yeah.
I know, because she's just spent ages cutting out 20 hexagon for a football cushion.
Oh, exciting.
I mean, you're a glutton for punishment.
So what we've done with these, the half meters now, got half meters on the brain. The half square triangles, we're going to take them and put them right sides together, but we are putting the pattern square on top of the plane. So you've got pattern plane, pattern
So opposite.
plane, opposites.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to mark the diagonal line again in the opposite diagonal to the seam. Because we're making quarter square triangles now. And we're going to sew 1/4 inch either side of that square, of that
Do it,
line.
Jane. Do it.
And again, you know, if you haven't got the 1/4 inch foot, just mark your seam allowance and sew on the line.
Oh, Jane.
Yeah.
PT says, "Yay! I might celebrate by singing Christmas songs all afternoon. It won't annoy anyone in the office." Karen, what have you done? What have you done? She says, "Thanks, Karen." She's the only person that's thanking Karen at that moment. Gemma also hates to cut up her fabric. Well, you know, yeah. Oh, Margaret. Oh, the weather outside is frightful,
Yeah.
but the show is so delightful. We haven't got lots more. It just says, let us sew, let us sew,
Yeah,
let
since
us
we've
sew.
Since we've got no place to go, let us sew, let us sew, let us sew. Yeah.
I mean, also true. Actually, no, we can go out now. Speaking of Halloween, Lorraine, were we speaking of Halloween?
Well, sort of, because of the pumpkin and blossom.
Oh, yeah, we can now. Can you please tell me if you will be getting Halloween fabric? Plenty of time so I can decorate quilts, etc. for Halloween. Lorraine, you are in luck. I have ordered some beautiful Halloween fabric
Oh, lovely.
from Macawa, and I believe there might be some glow in the dark in there. Just saying. Just saying. So Lorraine, we are your friend. We've got you covered. Don't worry.
Brilliant.
I can't see the binding planes on the Wednesday page. What were the colours, please? So they are our planes, just our normal planes, Jane. You can choose you can choose any of the colours, but the ones that Jane specifically chose because she thought they were lovely
go through that.
was crimson, navy, elephant grey, and I want to say paprika.
Yeah, paprika. You see, I thought the paprika, I'll show you on the, so we've made quarter square triangles, 2 quarter square triangles, I've pressed those open. The paprika and the navy just went beautifully with this fabric. And then I was looking at the pumpkin and blossom, and it's quite grey tones, so I thought that elephant would look nice with that one. And then the Red Barn Christmas, I chose the red, the crimson, but there's navy in this, so the navy would work as well.
Oh, the grey looks gorgeous with that as well.
Or I'm just going to, if I can see it, the sage, probably can't see it in here now because I want it. That sage, if you can see that bit of green on there, that sage would work beautifully in there as well. So I think, you know, it's one of those things that you'll get your layer cake and maybe make it, and then you may decide on what you want your binding is once you've made your top.
What colours you want to pull from
because there'll be so many colours within your layer cake. And of course, this daybreak one, the grey looks nice with it, but the navy works with it.
Well, the daybreak also, I'm going out on a limb and saying rose.
Yeah, and I'm, you know,
the rose
pulling it back up here.
Stunning with that too.
But the crimson looks lovely.
Oh yeah.
So
the crimson has a pinky undertone,
it
actually,
does,
doesn't it? It's nice.
But the rose would look beautiful because of this colourway, and even the misty blue.
Well, misty blue is always our friend. It's neither misty nor blue,
exactly,
but we love it.
We love it. And the navy and the misty blue would look lovely with that, with the Kelmscott as well. So this is why we didn't include the binding fabric in the bundle, because there's so many options. When you buy a layer cake, you've got all of the colours within the range of fabrics. So,
and Jen, what you'll find a lot of people do is they message us and they go, "We have this fabric. Please, could you find us something to match?"
Yeah, and it's an awful thing to have to do for a customer.
We hate having to pull out all our fabrics and stroke them, and you know, it's such a chore, isn't it? Stop everything we're doing to go and look at our beautiful fabric.
Yeah, stop cutting up fabric to look and match colours.
Yeah, no, we love it. So you can always message us, and we will always happily do that for you. SJ says, sorry for the confusion, everyone. We are all feeling generous today, so we will include all the Moda, half meter heavens, pre-cuts, absolutely anything Moda until Monday night. I feel that's fair because it is a Moda quilt.
Yes.
That, you know.
Yes, it's got to be Moda.
Yeah.
So you've made, from your 2 squares, you have made 2 quarter square triangle blocks.
Oh, hang on, let me show everybody that.
So you've got 2, so they're the same. So you're going to get double up on your squares anyway. So that's why I sort of pulled out the squares, so I didn't double up too much on the fabrics, because you're already going to double up on it. And you do that with all of your squares. And this is why I said to you, you can either, I chose to do a dark one and a light one. And it will become evident. Well, you can see it in my quilt, you'll see. And when we get the block, you'll sort that out. Now, you really need a rotating cutting mat or a small mat that you can rotate. Because I'm going to do something now, and it's called the cut and come again method.
Come again?
Yeah, cut and come again. Just because we're going to cut it up and sew it back together. Funny that.
Ah.
I'm just going to move these out the way. This is the block that we're aiming for.
Got shrunk.
Yes, this is what happens. And you're like, well, there's lots of little pieces in there, but there's not so many little pieces when you actually come to make the block. So if you've got a rotating cutting mat, this is the best way of using it. Just make sure it's sitting in there so it will rotate. Or use one of your smaller mats that you can turn it.
Right,
because you're going to cut, but I don't want you to move it. But you need to cut safely, so you need to be able to rotate your mat. So don't use your big one like this, because you'll be flinging yourself and knocking things flying. So yeah, 2.5 inches from the side. Now if you're left-handed, you'll do it from the right-hand side.
And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So 2.5 inches from this side here, and you're going to cut the strip. Okay.
Jess is so funny. She says
Don't move it.
Don't move it. Okay, don't move it.
Cut it, don't move it. Turn your block 180 degrees and do the same on the opposite side. So 2.5 inches.
Right.
Cut it.
Jane, how do you know all these things?
I've just been taught it or seen it done on another, on a YouTube somewhere. The thing is, you get on Pinterest or on YouTube and you go down this rabbit hole, don't you? And you just see stuff and then
think I can do it this way.
I could
or
do that,
way.
and I could just subtly change that slightly. So 2.5 inches. I've turned it once. 2.5 inches again. Now, with a modal layer cake, you've got this pinked edge. What I'm looking for, I can see the cut here. I'm just going to move it down slightly so you can see. You've got that cut going there and that cut going there. I want that 2.5 to hit that point of the cut there and there. Which is why I say don't move it. So actually, when you come to measure 2.5 on your side with the pinked edge, put the edge on the inside of the pinking, not on the outside. There's a big debate goes on. It's a bit almost like whether you wash your fabric beforehand or not, as to which side you measure your layer cake from. On this, you want to measure from the inside of the pinked edge, not on the outside. So we do another 2.5 inch cut there, and then we rotate it again 180 degrees. So we're rotating it. Oops, I've fallen out of my socket there. So you get another 2.5, and again I'm just making sure that I'm hitting that point there and that point there and there, and I'm lining it up with that straight edge because that's easy to see. So you've basically cut your block into a 9 patch. Okay. Now you're going to rotate this block. We can go that way, do it that side. Just rotate it once. So you've got the pattern fabrics against the plain, that side. Okay. And actually what you can just do on this one is you just swap these corners. You turn this corner here so that that corner is turned 180 degrees, I think it is, so that that half square triangle that you've created there, the pattern side goes against the plain and the plain is against, or the background is against the fabric. And you do the same on these two, you just literally swap them over. So that one comes down there and that one goes up there. And then this one rotates. And that's your block.
No!
Yeah,
is that it?
That's it.
Repeat 32 times.
Yeah, well 64 actually. Because by the time you've made them into quarter square triangles, you've made 2 from each square, so you get 64, which is 8 rows of 8. Makes you that size block. So
Jane, I love this.
it's a really quick way. Can you imagine how monotonous making a mini 4-patch triangle and then making all these half square triangles and then cutting the rectangles?
Is not my friend.
Like, you'd lose the wood to live, wouldn't you? So that's a lovely way of doing it. It does take your 10-inch box down to, I think they've come out at something like 8.
8.5 or 8.
Well, a 7 and 3, yeah, 7 and 7/8, 8 inches, you could say, ish.
If you
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Sit on it a bit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because they're all going to be the same size, so they'll all fit together.
Be consistent with your seam allowance. That is the key.
So we're going to make this. We're going to sew the 3 rows together, and then sew the units into rows. Sew the 3 rows together. I'm going to show you now how to chain piece a 9 patch, because again, you've got 64 of these to do.
Yeah.
Again, it could be a bit monotonous, stopping, cutting threads and all of this. So we're going to sew this square, half square triangle unit there to that rectangle, just lining it up, a new 1/4 inch seam, and you sew down there, leave it in the machine. Take the rectangle,
Yeah.
put it against the 1/4 square triangle in the middle,
Yeah.
sew your seam. And then do the same with the bottom one. Right sides together. You might get little bits like this. Sometimes they come off. You're going to end up with quite a bit of confetti on your cutting mat. You really can't do much with those triangles, honestly. As much as you'd like to.
I love that you've tried. Jess recommends Doris Day Vintage Christmas Ladies. Alexa's now playing it in my workshop.
Oh,
Jess, who is
lovely.
already she's taken a 3-month break off the magazines to do all of her Christmas makes. I love that.
Fabulous.
Lo is helping me with my spelling. Do you want to just like jump on board and help Freddie with his as well? She's like, fuchsia, fabric under chair, happy sewing is awesome.
Amazing.
And do I want the unprintable version too? No.
Is that low? Is that low?
How did you guess? She is also dreaming of a gin Christmas, just like the gins I knew before.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. So you're going to have that going on, okay?
Washing. Oh, hang on. I've
So-
changed the. Sorry.
This is where we are, and we've got the string still attached, okay? Now, we started from the top and we worked down, so going back, we're going to start from the bottom. So we take this one. Now, this is where you have to just check what you're doing, because you want the triangles facing towards the rectangle. So you're going to take that and you're just going to turn it round and place it on there. If you find this a little bit confusing, do it, you know, the traditional way of putting each piece down and putting it back again. And you might want to do that for the first couple of blocks, just so that you get into the habit of where the fabric sits. Open that out. You've got the pattern piece against the plane of your rectangle. Just line it up.
Sorry, I was a little behind with the cameras there.
That's
Lorraine
okay.
she said, it's a good job you can't hear me squeal in excitement. I love Makawa. Made their Christmas advent calendars last year. Beautiful fabric to work with. Thank you. Can't wait for the fabric to come in for Halloween and glow in the dark heaven. It's better than that, Lorraine, because I've also ordered every single one of their advent calendars that they've got coming in this year. Because, Jane, it did occur to me that you might have already done some of their advent calendars. Like you said, they're a great gift for
Yes,
family,
and
friends.
they don't have to be just for children, because
They really don't.
they can be for grown-up children.
My
too.
mum still does me an advent calendar that I've had since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to say that.
No.
And if you've got siblings or grandchildren or something, you can make them an advent calendar, same but different. There's
Yeah.
no arguing.
That's right.
Well, I mean, they'll just argue over something else.
So we take
Okay.
that last 1/4 square triangle, and again we're making sure that the triangles are facing in towards the middle.
Right, okay, gotcha.
So place that on and just line that up. So you now got your 3 rows chained together. Okay, you can finger press this in. So I finger press
wrong
towards.
One. Sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry.
They're chained
There we go.
together now, look, see? I
Oh,
press
look at that.
the seams in towards the rectangle on there, out towards the rectangle on the middle one, and in towards the rectangle here. You can take it to your pressing mat and press it like this if you don't like finger pressing, because it doesn't give you that flatness, but that's fine. So now you just bring those together, nestle your seams and sew down. So you don't have to cut the threads.
That is amazing.
Everything is kept together in the right order.
So Geraldine says, Jane, you've spellbound me, like we did there. Karen just says, amazing. Lo says stitchy witchy work, amazing. Leslie says someone's clever, love it. Jane Dixon has just gone mind blown by that technique, wow. And Karen has also said Jane is truly our goddess of quilting. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Why do you think I've got her? And PT, who is equally brilliant, says I've just added the 100% cotton planes by the half metre that Jane and Natasha have just mentioned. There we go.
She's a superstar.
Right, she's on it. She is on it. So
These seams will nestle together. You're aiming for sort of like the X marks a spot on some of them. It might not be quite 1/4 inch seam. Just adjust your seams accordingly. Nobody's going to see the back of your block. It's going to be sandwiched into your quilt. So even if your seams are a little bit wonky, as they are on that one, you can see it there. You don't really want to lose your corners. But if you look at my quilt, if you looked at it close up, there's a few corners missing. Does it matter? No, because when you look at it from there, you can't really see it.
You get the impact, don't you?
You get the impression.
Oh, poor Myra. She's have to turn off hubby needs the sat nav on my phone. No! Since when did... I'm going to sound really sexist here. Since when did men listen to sat navs? Come on. Oh, Naomi, I'm glad you're here. She said late. But here, work getting in the way, we'll catch up. Naomi, your emails, yes, 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 I so totally agree. Naomi is saying when all of this craziness passes, can we have a retreat? Can we do a sewing retreat?
Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it?
She wants us, Jane, and Lisa, and John.
Oh, how fantastic.
And yeah, I think we should definitely do that. So, and we spoke to Lisa about it this morning, and she's up for that. Because she's going to come across for festival next year anyway.
Oh, lovely.
So she'll be across. She's going to stay with us. She's going to come across.
Oh,
We're going to have a
nice.
stand. We're going to do everything. It's going to be amazing.
Exciting.
And then we also planned this morning. I'm giving everything away, aren't I, really?
Yeah, well, not.
And she also said, we can do like a Facebook Live. I'm like, in the morning. She said, before it all opens. I'm like, yeah. And we've all watched Crocodile Dundee. We'll be calling it the walkabout.
Yeah.
Lisa's walkabout. She's gone walkabout.
Gone walkabout. So there's your block. There's your block. That's it. Boom.
Perfect.
So
And
when you put them together, twist one of the blocks so that you've got your pattern against the plane.
So beautifully. Look at that.
And there it goes. And that will form the pinwheel in the middle and gives you this effect of the...
I would have stared at that for so long and been so confused as to how that went together. That is just so clever. Elizabeth says, to quote Captain Small, another adventure in fabric.
Definitely.
Clever girl.
Definitely.
Yeah, Margaret says, OMG, genius. Genuine stitch witchery.
Yeah. And if you wanted to, if you want to keep your blocks all the same, if you wanted to make them with the same fabrics on either side, you'll get a different effect. You could make, it will be scrappy at some point because you've only got generally one piece of the same fabric. So it will just give you a different effect. But it moves, it moves around beautifully.
It really does. It really does.
Look at that. Lay it all out on a flat surface, your bed. I did it on my mum's spare room
Or
bed.
if you've got one of the quilt walls, or if
The
you've got one of the
quilt wall.
K-Facet quilt walls.
Because I was trying to get it to ombre from the blues through the greens up to the teals, but it didn't quite work for me because I got some that, I didn't think about the fabric placement when I was putting them together in the half squares. I just whacked lights and darks together I like together. So sometimes I've got a lot of the same in places, but with a few more days to be able to move it around,
I think it's gorgeous.
if you're doing this at home, I suggest you lay them out on the bed, look and leave them, walk away.
Well, that's what
And then
Kate
go
says
back
to
to
do,
it,
isn't it?
yeah,
You know,
go
he
back
says-
to it the next day and you might think, oh, actually, no, I want to move that from there and put that there.
Just genius. Catherine says a disappearing pinwheel. Love it.
It's gorgeous,
Love
isn't it? Yeah. So it's a lovely, quick-ish make. I'm not going to say it's a quick make. It's you know, there's 64 of these to make, but using that chain piecing of the 9 patch quickens the making of it up.
Just genius.
Yeah.
Just genius. That is such a stunning quilt. Such a stunning
And you can
quilt.
have really good fun. And as I say, you know, the fabrics are designed to go together. The colours go together. The paprika colour is in this fabric. The navy is in this fabric. The creams are in there. That like acidy green colour is in there. It all comes together. So you might look at the fabrics and think, well, I don't actually like that one very much. Well, if you really don't like it, don't put it in. Put that as one of your 8 that you're not using. Well, 10 actually that you don't use, because you pick 32. But as I say, I did take the 2 plain ones and substitute those for the background squares.
But actually what it also means is that you've got spare for cushions.
Yeah.
Or a bag to put it in,
Yeah.
or whatever else you want to do.
Whatever what you want to do. You could, with those 10 squares left over, you can make yourself a little mini rag quilt.
Just genius.
Or put them in your stash for something else.
Or make yourself some iPad tablet stands.
Yeah.
2 10-inch squares, done.
Yeah.
So, Jane, you are a genius. That seems to be the general consensus. I've never seen a technique like this. I'm blown away, absolutely blown away by it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the quilt was stunning when you whipped it out and went, geez, how did you do that so fast?
Yeah. It looks like you spent hours making little triangles and sewing them back together. But, you know me, I'm a lazy quilter. I like to make things quickly. Well, and for my job, I do need to make them quickly. So using this method, when you've got your pre-cut squares, they're all going to end up the same size. So you don't have to worry too much about, accuracy to a degree.
Yeah.
You're going to get the odd one that doesn't quite sit with it, it might lose the end of its point. As I said, there's quite a few in there if you looked really closely, but in the grand scheme of it, you can't see it.
It's stunning.
I quilted it just through the diagonal. So I went through the diagonals here. I did think I might like to do a circle shape on that rectangle bit there. I might go back and do that at another time, but that's enough quilting on there to keep it together, and it doesn't distract from the pattern.
Beautiful.
But your eye dances over it because you're constantly seeing different patterns in there.
And this is the thing, in a layer cake, just by the very nature of it, there are going to be fabrics in there that you love more than others. And this is great because there isn't a single fabric in there that you don't love, because they suddenly all work together, and you get the true reason as to why we buy layer cakes, why we buy fat quarter bundles, because we've got Moda fat quarter bundles that would work for this as well.
Yes.
All of those things.
With a Moda fat quarter bundle, because it's a yard fat quarter,
yes,
you will only get 2 10-inch squares from your fat quarter,
but
that gives you extra bits.
Could you do it as a
make
9-inch?
them start as a 9-inch square.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because your middle bit will be slightly smaller. Maybe cut them at 2 inches wide instead of 2.5 or 2 1/4.
So
they will go together.
For adaptation.
Yeah.
There's that room for adaptation, but just beautiful. So whatever fabrics that you've got, go for it. Go for it. It's easy with a layer cake. So if you are like us and want an
I wouldn't
easy
recommend
life,
doing it with a charm pack, because you might just lose the will to live.
Yeah.
You'll end up with like really tiny squares at the end of it.
Or a pincushion. I mean, you can make a pincushion out of a charm pack for it, and that would be absolutely fine. Jane, you are, as ever, our absolute superstar. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. It's good fun, isn't it? And this is it. It's about enjoying it and finding new ways of doing things and just experimenting.
Next week, what do we do next week?
It's Block of the Month.
Brand new block of the month. We have had lots of questions with people asking about how do I subscribe? So what I would say about that is we're not doing it the same way we did the last one.
Yeah,
the last one had to be subscribed to because
we'd
of
only
the
got
fabric.
so much fabric.
Yeah.
But we've got fabrics that we can reorder, so I think we're okay for, ad infinitum in a way, and people can just drop in, do the one block, or do the whole thing, and I think we've got 4 different colourways, 5 different colourways, so you've got an option there. You might want to do each block in a different colourway, and then see how that works when you put it together.
My question to you, Jane, is if people want this in advance, and I'll talk to you and Gemma about this, Gemma might be able to let us know, is everything set up and ready to go that we could start putting the first bundles online in the next day or so?
Yeah, I think we could.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we can get that going. We could even put a complete bundle together for the whole quilt if people want to buy all the fabric.
Quilt. And then we will also split it down. So if budgets or whatever don't allow for you to buy the whole shebang,
Definitely.
then that's absolutely fine. We'll break it down as we did before, but we are not constrained this time.
By quantities,
with quantities, really. Which is why we're not doing as a subscription for people, because then people can dip in and out. People missed out last time and that makes me sad. So this time we're like, no, we're going to change it. And if this doesn't work, we'll change it again next time. It doesn't matter.
We learn all the time, so we just keep evolving.
The other thing to say is that for the first time, you will get an email from us on a Friday. Ooh. This is something new that we're going to try, see if it works, see if you like it. But as ever, we are always walking our warehouse, aren't we? And finding things that we've got one or two left of. You know, and that works with the Half Meets Heavens. That's where they go in there. But there might be one or two little quilt kits or something that's left, one or two bits of this, bits of that.
Yeah.
So we will let you know what they are in that newsletter. It's like a Friday roundup of things that we're popping on a special so that you can grab a bargain or
Fabulous.
Something.
A
little
something.
Nice. I was going to say something for the weekend, but we had a conversation about that, and I'm not going to use that phrase again. And there might be a code for you to use. To get that. So it's going to be worth opening up and having a look in there on Friday, because you never know what we're going to stick in there. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Right, lovely people, we've got to go. We've got Half Meets Heavens to cut.
Yes. Loads of
them. And stroke. Have a wonderful
life.
rest of the week. We are back on Friday.
Oh yes, Joe's coming.
Because yes, it is our last Friday of the month, which means that it is our guest designer takeover day. Joe has been working on this project for months.
It's going to be exciting.
Really exciting, really beautiful. So do join us 10 o'clock Friday morning for another fabulous show.
Wonderful.
Fabulous. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a lovely
Bye-bye.
rest of the day. I hope your mum's all right, Geraldine, and we'll see you on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.